With all of the spells available to the Dragonborn in Skyrim, there had to be a few duds in the bunch. I'm Will from Game Rant, and today we're ranking the 7 worst Skyrim spells. Number 7. Sparks. Sparks is one of the first destruction spells a player can get in the game, but what makes it truly awful? Fire does straight damage, ice slows down enemies, and lightning drains magicka. Enemy spellcasters are rare to find, especially early on in the game, and as a result the first 2 spells are the better early game options. Even late game, it's usually better just to go for straight damage against mages anyway, since they tend to have lower health and stamina. Number 6. Summon Unbound Drora. This spell is mostly contained within a master level quest for the School of Conjuration. The spell conjures an enemy that will attack anything and everything, including you, so it's not particularly useful. It acts more as a barrier between the player buying master level spells than any sort of utility, so it's best left unused. Number 5. Muffle. This spell mostly falls apart due to the vast amount of armor carrying a very similar enchantment. The effect itself is fairly useful, but with it being an apprentice level spell, it's not worth the time to train just for it. Personally, just go for the armor and skip over Muffle. Number 4. Detect Dead. This spell's main utility is finding dead bodies nearby that are good for loot. This would be alright as a lower level spell, but at Expert it's just not worth it. It could also be used to find Draugr, but audio cues are far more prevalent and useful than Detect Dead. Plus, you don't want to use up magicka while an enemy is right around the corner. Unless the player lost track of some dead bodies during looting, it's unlikely this spell is ever being used. Number 3. Vision of the 10th Eye. This spell is only really useful during one quest, specifically a master level spell quest, where the Dragonborn is tasked with finding lost illusion texts around the college. Once this quest is done, the player is gifted the Night Eye ability, which is completely useless to Khajiit or vampires who already have it. Past the quest, the spell does nothing except add a slight blue tint to your vision. Unless you're a big fan of blurry and slightly blue graphics, we highly recommend staying away from this one. Number 2. Telekinesis. Telekinesis sounds like a cool power to have access to, but in practice it isn't nearly as great. The spell is often noticed by people around you, meaning it isn't useful for stealth. If a guard is nearby, you're just better off sneaking around and taking it rather than using telekinesis. Trying to use it in any useful capacity is just annoying and not worth the time. We will say that the best application of this spell is being able to feel like you're a Jedi, so that's at least a plus. Number 1. Water breathing. Water breathing on its own is actually a very useful ability, but its problem is the same as that of Muffle. Plenty of equipment has a water breathing enchantment already on it, meaning that this spell is functionally useless. Plus, the player can't cast spells underwater, meaning if they need a quick escape, it's already too late if they didn't already precast it. Water breathing as a spell just falls flat. That was our ranking of the worst spells in Skyrim. For more games and articles like this, remember to drop by GameRant.com. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you next time.